Gayle.
Oh, you weren't there?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to allow people to keep trickling in the meantime, we're just going to just enjoy the music while we allow others to come in. And we're going to get started as soon as I want to sit into their seats. Thank you, amen.
and gentlemen, welcome to the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. Out of appreciation for the performers, respect for fellow patrons, and your safety and enjoyment, we ask that you kindly observe the following. Kindly turn off all cell phones. Smoking in the building is strictly prohibited. Food and beverages are not allowed inside the theater. Take your time and move carefully, especially while on the second tier. Please do not interrupt performances. Please refrain from touching the decorations and art pieces on display. If a fire alarm is sounded, please do not run, but move swiftly towards the nearest lighted exit sign. When leaving the theater, please use only the doors clearly marked with lighted exit signs. Videotaping of the performances is strictly prohibited. Persons who wish to take still photos may only do so without flash. Thank you for your cooperation. This event has been organized, produced, and directed by a private entity. Questions and concerns may be addressed to the producers, as this responsibility is not that of the Institute of Creative Arts, nor the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. Please sit back and enjoy the show.
Good night, everybody. Good night. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We were giving you guys time to just get settled in, so everybody can be a part of this wonderful lecture by Dr. Gayle. I personally want to say good night again to Dr. Gayle. Dr. Gayle and I met for the first time, but in Guyana, but Dr. Gayle has been inspiration for some time. So I met Dr. Gayle vicariously through Miss Mary from Restore Belize when he was here and did his first research, and along with Reach, and that spawned a whole heap of another movement, I should say, where young people got engaged in working to use theater as a part of social research, social inspiration within the community, and trying to get our type of research in, our ideas into the community by performing and talking about people, how they felt about gun violence. So I want to thank Dr. Gayle. I really enjoy his work and what he's done for Belize. So thank you so much, and thank the team as well, Nelma, Greg, and Jemana. Welcome to this lecture series on failure of suppression, why and how violence reduction makes dollars and cents. Shortly after the completion of one of the most comprehensive studies conducted in this region, male social participation and violence in urban Belize, a non-profit organization, Reach, Research, Education, Advocacy for Social Change, was birthed, with a mission to foster community self-evaluation, social change, and informed policy and decision-making through high-quality social research. Over the years, the team has continued to collaborate and consult with government through non-government and private organizations and citizens. They have also conducted numerous research, presentations, workshops, and trainings, including the publication of the book, Like Bushfire, in 2016. The founder and director of Research, Education, and Advocacy Reach is Jemana Vasquez, a career teacher for over 20 years, and currently the principal of Hummingbird Elementary School. The research team is headed by lead researcher, Dr. Samuel Herbert Gayle, a social anthropologist who specializes in social violence, gangs, murder-suicide, and mass murders. His career centers on research and lecturing at the University of West Indies, Mona campus. He has over 2 decades of experience living with and studying youth, gangs, and transnational criminal organizations in the Caribbean, Central America, USA, and Europe. He has impacted policies to reduce social violence in 3 Caribbean states. Dr. Gayle is also a methods expert, trained at the advanced level in all 4 approaches: qualitative, quantitative, integrated, participatory, and action research. As a violence expert and youth advocate, Dr. Gayle has delivered public lectures, workshops, and seminars in over 30 countries and completed over 60 major studies. The other team members are Nelma Jones Mortis, an educator for 22 years, a doctorate in education candidate, and a holder of a master's in educational leadership from the University of North Florida. With Nunes, a graduate of the University of West Indies, Mona, Jamaica, holding a master's of science degree in sociology with a specialization in social anthropology, and he is currently a third-year PhD candidate at the University of Bristol in the United Kingdom. Before we continue, we'd like to acknowledge the sponsors as well, who partnered with this event and made it possible. This evening would not be happening without the sponsors coming on board and saying that, yes, we want to be a part of this great event. Those sponsors are Niche, who allowed the team to utilize its building, M&M Hardware, Fabregas, Carpet Care Plus, Mirab, and of course, we want to thank you guys for coming out and being a part of this evening. I want to first introduce Dr. Gayle, but before I do so, I just want to go over the format in which this lecture will occur. Dr. Gayle will first give his lecture. Within that period, you can begin formulating questions for Dr. Gayle. Afterwards, we're going to have the Q&A, of course. We have a closing and a post-engagement event, which allows you to have an informal interaction with Dr. Gayle, so we can have questions after the actual event, the lecture has finished. If you wish to talk to him outside, inside the space, that's the problem. I'm sure he'll be able to accommodate your questions. But do make sure that Dr. Gayle gets home in time, okay? Mama can enjoy Belize and breeze some more. He loves this Belize and breeze. Violence is an inhibitor to development. Countries with high levels of homicide are major development problems, which Latin America and the Caribbean knows very well, since it is the most violent region in the world outside war zones. Youth violence is considered a health and public safety issue in Latin America and the Caribbean. Young people, particularly males, are overrepresented as victims of homicide and other crimes, as well as those arrested and imprisoned. Addressing social violence is very costly and robs the country of resources that could have been used to invest in education and other key areas of development. To put into context, between 2010 and 2014, the region spent US $6.5 billion per year to maintain and build prisons. On top of this, imprisoned individuals forewent an additional US $7.3 billion annually in income, together amounting to more than the conditional cash transfer for the region's poor. Also, a 2017 study by the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB, taking into consideration direct annual cost of violence, found that the cost has increased to an annual average of 3.55% of GDP of the Latin American countries studied, or US $261 billion. This equals the income of the poorest 30% of the population, as well as the region's spending in infrastructure. This complex yet profound disclosure is what has brought us here this evening. Belize is a member of the Latin American countries and shares this reality, one that dominates our daily news and adversely affects many of our households. To help us understand this issue better, we have solicited the help of the region's foremost anthropologists in social violence. So, I take this pleasure to welcome our lecturer for tonight, Dr. Herbert Gayle. Please join me in a round of applause.
Let me say good evening to everyone. Should I assume you did not eat? Let me say good evening again. All right. It's been a journey, hasn't it? Huh? Yes. But we're not talking this evening. Has it been a journey? Yes. I first came here to Belize, I think was in the 1990s. In fact, on that trip, I got really scared, and so we have. All right, good. Just checking if you're out there and if you're awake. So we want to talk about the dollars and cents, right? This time SENSE, not CNTS, regarding suppression. And it seemed to be a tool that we have been working with for many, many years. And tonight, you're going to be surprised at how reliant we are on some of these things that we've been doing. And we want to look at some alternatives. So just take this journey with me, yes? Now everybody should know by now that the Caribbean is located in the zone that is the most violent in the world, right? The LAC is actually 9.2% of the world, but it accounts for 39.8% of the world's murders. Does that make any sense? Huh? Does that make any sense at all? And it so happens that this region, maybe you haven't noticed, but this region, the LAC, is actually what was long ago called the New World. Did you make sense of that? Where are the people here? Pop your hands up if you've read a history book. Okay, so that's okay. So you're here. Okay.